two niggas spoiling movies. Yeah. Brandon Collins, that's me, and Justin Brown for your movie needs. Medium popcorn. Woo! You haven't seen it, well, we're gonna spoil it. Spoil it in your face. That's your warning. So if you get pissed, it's all your fault. Woo-hoo. Woo-hoo. What is up, little biscuits and sun-dried tomatoes? It's your boy, Eddie Collins.
Guys, this is Justin Brown.
And we are medium popcorn niggas spoiling movies. But we're not really spoiling this movie, right, Justin?
Because this movie was spoiled the moment it was made.
Wow.
This is a rough one. Yeah, this ain't the movie.
Well, welcome to the show.
But to help us break this down, I'm so excited to have this gentleman joining us. He's an acclaimed actor who's made appearances on popular shows like Southside and Sherman's Showcase. Ladies and gentlemen, Lanre Idewu. Idewu. Did I get it?
Idewu.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Hey, listen, it's much better than any like elementary school teacher I've ever had in my life. Okay.
Isn't that like well, you have like a tough name to pronounce? Isn't like, did you see the Key and Peele substitute teacher?
Yes.
White kids. I love that because it's just such a good spin on like what the white teachers do to us.
It's so fantastic. I love that. God bless him for that.
But you've been away filming, right? What do you?
Yeah. It's been a crazy year, a great year, crazy year. But yeah, Chicago, DC, Chicago for Southside, of course. DC for Hush, that's on now, and then we're doing location scouting for a couple more films. So it's been a ride. It's been a great ride. I'm not in my usual setup. I know the pink candle. Yeah, that's not mine.
It works, bro. It works.
This is a shirt. Huh?
Yeah. What scent is that candle though? Is it salmon or is it like floral?
Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. Did you say is it salmon?
Well,
it's salmon.
A salmon scented candle.
Maybe he's staying at Hogwarts or some shit. They got those weird flavors.
Someone wants a room smelling like fish. That's insane.
Listen, hey, well, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I won't go. But sometimes rooms smell like fish.
Yeah, listen. Don't worry. This is not the biggest family show, so you can say what you need to say.
Say what you need to say without compromising the future job. You know what I mean?
Indeed.
Thank you. I love it.
I had the pleasure of meeting you, Lanre, at a screening for North Star, which is a short film starring Coleman Domingo. It's a fabulous film, folks. Definitely see it if it's like a short at a film festival or anything like that available to you. And we got to talking, and then you had the dopest jacket on, if memory serves, from the Southside show. Because I immediately was like, are you a fan of Southside? You're like, I'm on Southside. I was like, oh, yeah.
And to be clear, I said it just like that. I'm on Southside, just like that.
Respect. Listen, only you can promote yourself, right?
And it's only just because I'm so happy and proud of the show. It's so amazing. It's a blessing to be a part of something like that. Bashir and Diallo are just incredible geniuses, and you got an amazing team of writers, Will Miles and Rashidi Sheets, like Alicia, like Chandra, Bashir's wife, it's like a whole big family affair. And every time we get on set, we just have a blast. So yeah, I'm proud of that show.
It seems like so much fun, man.
Brandon watched the Southside first, and he was telling me, hey, you have to watch it. And then I caught the first episode, and then I binged the whole thing within like a week. That show is absolutely fantastic. Like, I love it so much, and it's so unapologetically black. And like, it's
weird. Yeah.
So black, so Chicago. Thank you for that support, because that's what helps us get to season 3, and knock on wood, season 4 through 6, to 10 and then on.
Absolutely. And I think for me, like, being like from Michigan, what like really made me happy about a show like Southside is that we lost Detroiters after just 2 seasons, and that
That was
Right.
a show that repped its city and didn't like demean it anyway, and had just like really goofy shit with predominantly black cast, right? And
Yeah.
see Southside with an all black cast doing equally crazy shit. I mean, it's phenomenal. So congrats on being a part of that, man. That's awesome.
Cool. Thank you. It's been a ride. It's been a great one.
Yep. So, folks, that was all the positive part of our episode, because now we have to dive into Stomp the Yard, which, okay, I have a quick question for y'all before we jump into this. Did y'all watch the 114-minute version of this or the 86-minute version of this?
Oh, I watched the whole kit and caboodle. I watched it all.
Because on Amazon Prime, they have two versions. One you got to pay $3.99 for, and the other's free. And that's the 86-minute one. And it was like sped up. It was almost like what they played on BET, but like on Amazon Prime. It was so weird. They had like commercial breaks, like if with Nathan Black, and then transition to the next scene and shit. But y'all didn't get that based on your faces.
So I watched it on YouTube TV.
Oh, okay.
So it was on YouTube TV. So I watched on YouTube TV. So I got the whole thing. And you know, it's a crazy movie.
But it's fun though. It's like, you know, it's Tatiana, who's my wife, Lanre. She said that if you want to know what You Got Served is about, just watch the first 7 minutes of this movie. It's like it's a great acceleration of all like the big black dance movies and mixing them with drumline. That's what this is.
It's so true. It's so true.
My question, so like obviously like this like the Save the Last Dance movies, all of those movies, it was a time frame where everyone just wanted to see people dancing, right? And then Hollywood caught wind of it. They're just like, dance movies, let's just churn them out. I want niggas popping and locking, spinning on their head, doing all the bullshit. And like, I just don't understand why they kept going with it, because it just, this is crazy to me.
This is crazy, but real quick, because of the day we're recording this, folks, I'd be remiss to not say rest in power, Stephen Twitch Boss, who unfortunately passed away today. For me, I loved him on So You Think You Can Dance and stuff like that. And he was in a lot of those later Step Up movies, which weren't great, but he was always a phenomenal entertainer. And so I just wanted to take a moment real quick before we got back up to the funny. Did you shout?
Yes. Yeah. You know, gone too soon. And it's sad. You know, it's very sad. But, you know, my wife, you know, huge fan. And she was just like, I can't believe it. And I was like, you never know.
Exactly.
You just, you know,
but
you know, take care of your people.
Yeah. But you know who did know, getting back to the comedy? Chris Brown in that opening dance scene. Because he told his brother, hey, we should not do this. We ain't gonna leave with this money.
Foreshadowing, yes, to the nth degree. Yes.
His brother got killed over how much money? Maybe $700?
If that. Listen, but from Chicago, I mean, people get robbed over and killed over Tic Tacs and scooters. So, yeah, like people. Sometimes cats don't need a reason, you know, unfortunately.
Yeah, we watch Paid in Full.
This is true. People get shot every day, B. So the thing that I find hilarious about this movie and like this genre of movies is that they make dancing to be like the hardest shit that a man could do with his life. It's like, yo, you want to see somebody who's a thug? You need to catch him in a warehouse dancing with a broom.
But that's art, bro. Art, you can still be street and love art. I mean, I think about Day 26. Some of those niggas were hardcore. They were having sing-offs and shit. Like, you know what I mean? They're like, I killed somebody, but
well, let's not forget, Tupac was a singer and a dancer.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying?
It's true. Hey, listen, you remember Christopher Williams? Don't wake me, my man. He was known for fighting in clubs and he was thumping all the time.
Wow, I couldn't imagine. I just laughed.
Oh yeah. That man was a bruiser. He punched somebody in their face real fast. My sister has a story of Christopher Williams being in a club in New York and him and another R&B artist clearing out the place.
Wow.
That's hilarious. Throwing people down the stairs and shit.
Wow.
Wait, no, I'm sorry. Throwing people down the stairs. That was actually KC throwing Mary J. Blige down the stairs because he was a piece of shit. That's a completely different story. But again, New York in the 90s was a wild place.
It's a wild place. I can imagine. Mobb Deep came out of there. Wow.
Oh, yeah. Man. You hard as fuck. What'd you say, Lanre?
I said, he said I was on my dirt bike. He's doing drive-bys on dirt bikes.
Bro, Mobb Deep is hardcore where their hit single is Shook Ones. Like, that's a dark-ass song.
And then who told them to sing after that? Like, what was that, the sophomore album? They started singing. I was like, what is this?
That's what you do after you talk about killing people. Ja Rule did the same thing.
There you go. Death and then love.
Who's going to tell me no?
So Columbus Short stars in this movie as DJ, who has got the biggest chip on the shoulder. I mean, rightfully so. He did get his little brother killed, but that was what's confusing. Is Chris Brown supposed to be younger or older? Because together they looked. I didn't know which way was up.
Yeah, I think Chris Brown was supposed to be the younger one.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. And he was like, my younger brother's the one that has the dream of going to college. It ain't me. Like,
right.
Yeah.
Did he just want to be a dancer for the rest of his life? Like, what was happening?
Well, he was already accepted to school, so he was going to college anyhow. But his younger brother was the one. It was just like, I think the whole like you can be in a step team and all of that, and like you can maximize your dance at school. I think Chris Brown's character was, there's like, yo, you're gonna go to school and you're gonna dance there. And he was just like, I'm gonna go to school and learn. It's like, nah, nigga, you need to dance.
Dance your way through those hallowed halls.
But his younger brother was the more talented dancer at the same time.
Yeah, he did the elbow dance thing, which Chris Brown just around here just flipping and shit. Did he get shot outside of that trade track or something? I was like, where are we right now? But also, don't fuck with a nigga with a teardrop tattoo.
Anybody that has tattoos on their face, like, I don't want to fuck with. Just on GP. I'm not gonna take that chance.
Exactly.
And Columbus Short's a pretty boy. And like Chris Brown's a pretty boy too. Like, you don't want to be on the wrong side of being a pretty boy.
No, Christopher Williams, as we've learned.
Yeah, indeed. Don't wake me because you be dreaming.
Hilarious.
But
Hilarious.
yeah, it was sad that Chris Brown was immediately like, yo, we shouldn't do this, DJ. DJ's like, we're going to make this bread. We all going to do it.
And he's like, I want this.
Yeah. And so he's like, it's not all about you. And I was like, there's a theme for us, everybody. And so
a message.
Chris Brown gets killed. And then he sent to his uncle's house, he's like a groundskeeper at a university, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the dean of that university is Megan Good's dad.
Right.
Who Columbus or DJ's uncle used to pipe down he stole his girl back in the day.
Right. Yep.
And now is his current wife, which is just like, so y'all wild. Just stayed on campus. Y'all ain't go nowhere after college.
Some people don't.
It's true.
They just we call them townies.
Yeah.
Townies. A little small school, and there's some people that have been there for 30 years, never moved, still there to this day.
The one thing I find hilarious about like these kinds of movies, especially like at this time frame, like older black men, and not even that much older black men, were just like the most unreasonable people on the planet. He gets to that house, he's like, that's right, because you a piece of shit and you don't know. It's like, whoa, calm down. His brother just got killed.
Yeah, he's like, we were over here dancing for pennies. My brother's Chris Brown over here dancing like he on the 4 train. Like, we just trying to survive.
Right. But
I like they're selling drugs.
When that the old school, black man, your kids are both supposed to be seen and not heard, and what I say goes. And the moment you knew there was a little crack was when he grabbed his bags and brought him back to the truck. Get in the truck.
I do want to say one thing real quick about the opening dance scene. First of all, did y'all peep that it was hosted by a shirtless black magician? Because that nigga had that cape on with the glasses. That was crazy.
What was that?
I don't know. But one of the dancers in the opposing team looked like Frederick from the band. Because I mentioned Day 26 earlier. And I don't know if y'all remember the band, but their first single had one of the craziest opening verses ever by Frederick, who's this nigga. I think he was from like Compton or something like that. His opening bar was, some of these niggas ain't never killed nothing. I'm Fred. it's the wildest
Wow.
thing in life.
And I guess one is supposed to assume that he's killed something.
One thing we do know is his name is Fred.
His name is Fred.
Scooby-Doo shit over here.
Wow.
Yeah, but you guys are right. The uncle does. He's like, I had to call in a favor to get you into the school, while Columbus Short just sculling at him with his do-rag. I was like, this is bananas. And then he's at the bus station the next day. He's like, where you going?
Right. Come back. I didn't mean it. I'm really a nice guy. Get to know me.
Show me that you're working and I'll treat you like a human being.
There it is.
That's basically what it was.
Pretty much.
How old is DJ supposed to be, though?
I guess 18, 19. I mean, he's a freshman in college.
Because I had a question about him and the homie that plays his rival at the other fraternity, because that brother's from Tyler Perry's Temptation.
Mm-hmm.
So I cannot look at him without seeing those glasses and him crying for Journey Smollett.
Oh, wow.
I just can't see it.
Wow. You took it there. Yeah.
Oh boy.
I mean, I get it though. Megan Good was looking good without better.
Yeah.
She was drinking that water. I was like, oh, get healthy, girl. Get healthy.
I mean, she's back on the market, guys. Megan Good's back on the market.
It's a dangerous time out for black men, especially even married black men. Like, because we got Nia Long out here, she's single.
Mm-hmm.
Megan Good single. Michael B. Jordan single. I'm just naming all the single hot black people. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right. Okay. I respect that.
Okay, but okay, yeah. Her name is Megan Great.
Megan, yes.
Megan Amazing.
When she was running like through the quad and she had in those pants. Whew, Lauren London. Well, I mean, Lauren London's single. Her status came in the tragic sense.
I don't see Lauren. Unfortunately for me, I don't see Lauren London going from Nipsey Hussle to Brandon Collins. You know, I think that'd be a rough transition for everybody.
Wow.
As much as I would enjoy that would not be. I would get it if like fucking Hype Beast is like, why is she with this nigga? I'd be like, I get it.
I understand.
Sir, I do not belong.
Right. I ask myself that question every day. Oh yeah.
Oh, did I tell y'all that I saw this opening weekend in college?
Why?
You
know what's crazy is that I see Justin Rich is in the chat. He's a Patriot. Shout out to Justin. He and I went to college together, and I went with some crews from the St. John's campus to the movie theater to go watch this movie opening weekend.
Well, it was hot.
Yeah,
like that's 07, right? You only had what? 3 black movies a year, if that.
Oh, barely, bro.
Yeah, definitely gonna go see that. And it was college, like
So college they had Megan Good, and Chris Brown was popping at the time.
Yeah.
This film debut, like he was huge at the time, and so it was like, all right, this is worth checking out. But then it just felt like Dancing Drumline.
This basically Chris Brown. He had just hit the scene about 3 years ago before this movie came out. 3 or 4, like 2 or 3 years ago, that's when he started to blow up. So this was like really, really early Chris Brown. And those first albums of Chris Brown were just some of the, like when he did Run It, I remember that song. I was just like, I hated on him because he was young and he was fly, but I was just like, but that song was a banger. I remember in the club just doing all the bullshit.
He still got bangers. I mean, but yeah, that was a good run. Like Run It, and he got the Kiss with T-Pain and shit. Yeah,
Take You Down.
What'd you say, Lanre?
Yeah, and I mean that whole cast. I mean, kind of shout out to Will Packer and Rob Hardy because they knew kind of how to do it. They grabbed people with big followings. They grabbed a couple good actors, that could be anchors. Right. And then, everybody in that top line cast is still working to this day.
Yep.
So it's really.
Is Columbus Short still out there?
Columbus is making a comeback. He's in that Mahalia Jackson movie, Remember Me. He played Martin Luther King and he did a damn good job.
Okay.
Because he had a rough go with like Shonda Rhimes and stuff like that.
Yeah, Scandal, yeah.
Yeah, those shows, I feel like Shonda Rhimes and Ryan Murphy, like if you can maintain a certain level of like purity, you could be okay like doing all these multiple franchises, but sometimes people, they gotta go a bad way with their careers being on those popular shows.
Yeah, it's true. But one of the things I think it's a testament is that talent. Talent always comes back. Like you see a lot of actors, like Angela Bassett had a dry spell for a while, and now she's back on top. Regina Hall, like a lot of actors.
God bless Gina Hall.
I get really mad about that because I did a panel with Regina Hall after Hunt for Jesus Save Your Soul with Sterling K. Brown. And in that meeting, she actually had a moment of vulnerability where she's like, I feel like people don't like, what I do and stuff like that. And we were all like, whoa, please, let's recalibrate that. Like,
because you don't know, you're operating in a vacuum. And unfortunately, especially as melanated talent, we're always subject to what the studio says and what the network says. They used to say Black movies don't make money. And, look at Wakanda Forever Part 2, even though it's a Black cast. It's not a Black movie. Marvel still owns it. So, people, please make sure you support Black movies. But, so as an actor, you're often told like what to act, how to act. And the opportunities are so slim that sometimes, you think it's like, when's going to be the next one? Like Gina Prince Bythewood. And it's for all the creative talent, writers, directors, actors. Gina Prince just did Woman King, and she had like a huge dry spell. And it's like, but the one thing is, and for any artists out there, like stay on your craft, continue to develop it, because I think true talent can't be held down.
So it's funny that you say that because, obviously we're in a zone where a lot of, white men feel like, they're not getting the opportunities anymore. They feel like, oh, it's all going towards diversity and and there's no castings for me. And, just talking to some, white actors and they're saying all this stuff. I'm just like, yeah, but when I'm looking at castings, still 9 of 10 roles are still for white men. And it's like, and a lot of the diversity is coming out of, the diverse pool. It's the diverse pool just stretched out between, they added more people inside. It's like, guys, you got to realize y'all always going to be all right in this business. It's just like, you may be feeling it a little bit, but that is our entire lifespan throughout the business. And it always is and always has been.
Yeah, agreed. And it's funny because they'll be like, we're open to any ethnicities. And then they'll list every ethnicity possible. They're like, Asian Pacific Islander, like midgets, LGBTQ, like whoever, just, and Black guys too. Like, you guys all get in here.
No, but at the same time, it's like, and Black guys too, but we need you to be light-skinned. We need you to be light-skinned. We need to be ethnically ambiguous. I want wavy fucking hair. You better look like maybe you could be you could be the illegitimate son of Prince. There you go. Right. That's what I want.
And if you're dark, you better be super non-threatening and be able to cry on cue.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Mm-hmm. You better be the best. We need you to be out of the UK.
Yeah, just be out of the UK. Just everybody, right? Just
like, they're like, I need to either be able to put a gun or a wand in your hand and not feel threatened ever. That's what I want to be able to.
Yep.
That's the kind of Black I need you to be.
There you go. Exactly. Smile with it.
Back to Stomp the Yard though. Okay. I got some questions. First of all, I forgot Neil was in this movie. So my first question is, did he always have that list?
I didn't pick up the list.
I feel like I'm glad to see all genuinely confused, because at first I thought I said something so offensive that I just brought the podcast to a halt.
No,
because I was thinking like I don't think I heard the list.
Oh, I heard as soon as he barged into the room like the Kool-Aid man with that Express shirt, I was like, oh yeah. Everybody was dressed like they were in an Usher music video from 2003 in this movie.
Yeah.
Everyone had overlong shirts and the tight t-shirts under it, and then the baggy jeans, and all the women had their midriff showing. And
bro, that was the time, baby. That was the time, and you matched to everything.
Everything.
I didn't match. I never matched.
Yeah, Yeah, it's wild. I mean, that was definitely a statement, and you're probably right because it probably took, especially that was an independent film at the beginning, so it probably took 2 to 3 years to finish editing and to get somebody to finally buy it and put it out there. So yeah, it might have been a couple years behind already.
Yeah.
I mean, the budget for this movie was 13 million, and it made over $75 million. So it was a hit. This made money.
It's made money. This helped.
Which is all that matters.
That's all that ever matters.
So my question is, so Neo comes in and he's just like, hey, he invites him to the barbecue. He doesn't go because he has to work. He has to be out there gardening. He had to do a slave job. So then eventually he's just walking across campus and just walks into this party. But I don't know if you realize it, didn't Neo said it was like an invite only party at first?
Well, I think that party was the one, or was that the one they tried to go into the VIP section? And
you may be right, because that's when they were trying to rush that fraternity.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. See, all right. So I got that wrong. So, but either way, was anybody do a fraternity? I knew you didn't do any Greek, Brandon.
No.
Did you?
I did. Yeah.
Okay. So what was that? So what was that like? Were you a black fraternity?
Yeah. Alpha Phi Alpha. Yeah.
Okay.
So just a little bit of background. So Will Packer and Rob Hardy are both alphas as well.
Okay.
And so the two top competing step teams were kind of figments of alphadom with a little bit of Q thrown in and all that. And they just didn't really want to go through all the licensing issues. But yes.
Okay. So would you now, rushing a fraternity, I know it's, there's, the hazing part, stuff like that. Now, I know, so in my school, like there were no black fraternities. I went to school in New York and we didn't have any of it. So there were white fraternities. I was just like, I ain't going there because not one of you white folks put hands on me because I'm gonna put hands on you.
I heard that. Well,
what was it like for you?
Let me just say that Alpha Phi Alpha is a non-hazing fraternity.
Gotcha.
So that's what my pledge dean said to me. God bless his soul, big brother Boo Davis said when we pledged in his basement, and we went to school. I went to school at University of Iowa, so it's a very, very light on the melanated people campus. But our chapter had been there since 1922. So we have there's a long, rich history in Iowa with Africans, W.E.B. Du Bois, whatever. It's only 3 hours away from Chicago. So we went into his basement. So what they would do is you had there were 4 of us online and maybe 6 to 8 big brothers that pledged us. But 2 of the cats on my line were football players. So we got, even though again, it's a non-hazing fraternity, there were some, things and we did okay, right? So we were like, yeah. So they're like, all right, we're gonna go on a road trip. They got everybody from all the surrounding schools together in one basement. And he was the regional director at the moment. And he said, listen, Alpha Phi Alpha is a non-hazing fraternity. So if you see any signs of hazing, I want you to let me know. Okay? I'm here to make sure it goes through this process correctly and that there's no hazing, because Alpha Phi Alpha is a non-hazing fraternity. He said, now, I'm going to be upstairs. So if you see any forms of hazing, you let me know. You come upstairs and get me. I want you to come upstairs and get me. And of course, when he left,
Yeah, nobody doing that.
Yeah, but it was hilarious. So, but that was part of, I think a lot of the fraternities and sororities have done away with that, but that was only part of the process. What was really taught was manly deeds, scholarship, and brotherhood. And it was very you had to be on your schoolwork. You couldn't be late to class. You really had to respect people, women. Like, it was actually a really, really great experience, I'd say.
So it's funny because like I've always been anti. It's like I'm a lone wolf. I don't need nobody.
Yeah.
And things like that. And especially in college, because like I said, white fraternities.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna get it. It's like, yeah, once I get in here, everybody's getting knocked out. But the more I see about black fraternities, I'm just like, probably if I went to a school with a black fraternity, I probably would have joined that. Because also one thing I do know is white folks, and white folks get weird when they have a little bit of power. And I feel like white folks get weird, especially when they got power over black people. And I'm just like, ain't nobody gonna do some shit which is even mildly sexual. So I'm like, no, I need to stay away from y'all because I know it's gonna get mildly sexual and also mildly racist. And mildly is saying is speaking very liberal.
Mildly.
Yeah.
At St. John's, these white dudes tried to get me to rush their fraternity, and I went to a party at one of their apartments, and I immediately left because some dudes were doing coke in the bathroom off a CD case and blasting Eminem, the Eminem Show album, not even a fun album.
Oh no!
I gotta get out of here. I'll be in a bad way.
Man, yeah. Yeah, it was great. You know what? And I was kind of the same way, Justin. And I waited until my senior year to actually even pledge. And I just looked around, and the people that I was naturally hanging with, they happened to be my closest friends, were all alphas. So it was kind of it made sense at that point. And then somebody asked if we had epic step battles like that. And you know what? We definitely had step shows. So we had step shows like every year, and it was definitely a head-to-head. It was a big competition. It was like, yo, who's gonna win this year? And you always wanted to kind of step it up a notch. Like nobody was doing the one arm, backflip and all that.
But, I was gonna ask. Like, nobody did that super flex.
And maybe we just couldn't do it. I don't know.
Wait, Lanre, you tell me that Neo wasn't just smiling at you like he wanted to fuck you after the competition? That's what he looked like at Columbus Short, that third act. I was like, yo, why'd they keep that cut in? That's so disrespectful.
Right. So bad.
It's fun. So I was watching my wife. My wife goes, it would be the final act, with the big competition. She was just like, it'd be cool to go to one of these shows and just watch, if they're really this good. And I looked at her. I'm just like, yeah, I don't think the college students were operating at this level where with the crazy production. I was like, I don't know if we had that. But it's like, I imagine they're good to an extent for a college level, but this is something different.
Yeah. With the big crane shots and the slow motion catch jumping, 30 feet in the air. Not quite, but there is something very exciting. I would highly suggest if you go to Howard Homecoming or something like that and just experience it, because it is there's something about a group of people moving in sync and creating beats with their bodies that's just really infectious. And it flows out into the crowd, and the crowd gets in it. It's just really something to behold. So I would definitely suggest checking it out.
This white girl in college tried to get me and this other brother to be part of her hip hop dance where we stepped in it, and that was not well received. I'll just leave it at that.
Got it.
It was not good.
Yeah, Brandon, I don't see you as that guy.
Oh no, it was rough. Can I just say, Las Alonso's he's in his 50s, I think, or almost, but he's been looking 20 to 30 for the past 30 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same, right? What is he on? The Boys now?
The Boys, yeah.
Yep.
Killing it. He's another guy, just straight talented. Rob and Will, they had an eye for talent. Twinkie Bird was the casting director. And all these cats are still working. Brian White's still working. Yep. Megan Good's obviously still working whenever she wants to.
Yeah, she's working it. She's working.
Harry Lynn, and she was working it.
I do want to say that the club dance scene where, you know, the slow motion, he's dissing the different towns and stuff like that. I'm like, what in these dance movies, they always have a club scene where everyone's just paying attention to these particular motherfuckers. That has never happened in any club I've ever been to. I went to a teenage club one time, had a dance off. No one paid attention to us.
See, Brandon, you just weren't in the right club. I've been in the club and I've been in that circle.
Oh, yeah?
Oh yeah, it happens. You just got me in the right place where people are about the bullshit.
Okay.
Yeah, they got to be like all participants have to be down for it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. There was no participants. There was like my friends and like a sprinkle of people paying attention to this dance off, and then I ended up splitting my pants open because I tried to do a drop kick. It was.
Wait! A drop kick? Who are you, fucking Shawn Michaels? You're a rocker? What?
Claude Van Damme. Brandon, I love that. Like, because that's passion, man. I have ripped. There's this song in Chicago called The Percolator.
Yeah.
You, no matter what pair of pants I have on, I'm going all in, and they will have a split straight down the middle. Like, there's footage everywhere. It's like guaranteed. So I applaud you for doing it.
So look, guys, let me give you an Uncle Justin story. So I went to a Catholic school. Went to a Catholic school all my life. So it was me, bunch of white kids. That's, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, obviously we have to wear uniforms and things like that. So we did this international day where basically every classroom was a different country. And then we had these little mock passports, and you have to go into every different class. So you went around the whole entire school, and they stamped your passport, things like that. You got to learn different cultures, eat foods from all around the world and things like that. It was a really cool thing that they did at this school. But they also had this big assembly where we do dances and songs and things like that from all these different countries. I can't remember what country we had, but again, only black kid at the school. We had our dance number, whatever, and then all of a sudden we had a circle forms. I get in there and I do a spin, jump in the air, and come down into a split, come up, hit this thing, no problem, all day, right?
Wow.
Day of the performance. No, I'm sorry. This day of International Day, the performance was like the next day, right? So they have International Day. I'm out there. I do this. I go down, hit it, come up. I split my pants from belt loop to belt loop. Completely in half. I was wearing assless chaps. So now, and I'm wearing tight whites. So my white. So these are black dress pants, split straight down the middle, whiteness just showing all through, and my black skins. So now I'm just like, oh fuck. So they send me down. They send me down to the nurse's office. Like, oh, we're gonna give you another pair of pants or something like that. They had nothing in my size.
Why does the nurse have pants?
Yeah, I know, right?
Okay.
So they give me a black garbage bag to wear. They cut holes in it, and I had to wear a garbage bag. And that was the day we went to all the other classes.
Look like an ugly duckling.
So you got my little. Now, mind you, I was class clown, so I felt like the teacher's like, "Oh, we're gonna bring this nigga down a peg or two." I walked to every single class in the entire school wearing a garbage bag as pants.
Wow.
And I have first graders picking on me and shit like that. You want to talk? That's probably the most embarrassing moment of my entire life. Anybody says splitting pants, I'm just like, yep. That's the one. That's the one. I see that could have been a superhero. That could have been a super villain.
Yeah. Right there. It all happened when I had to wear the garbage bag. And now you all must die.
Exactly.
I mean, a club's just not a good place for you to feel vulnerable. You know what I mean? That's why people get shot.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what I mean? No one wants to get dissed or look bad in a club when you spend $25 on a glass of Ciroc and trying to impress somebody.
That's true.
That's all I'm saying.
Fresh tattoo, still dripping ink. Come on.
Can I just talk real quick about the marketing practices of these two fraternities that are trying to get DJ to rush them? They both are terrible at recruiting.
Horrible.
They're like speed dating this nigga, but then they're like, "Hey, you gonna help me and my boys? We need you." And he's like, well, "I don't need you." I say, "Well, that's just foolish. Fuck you." Just like, what?
Well, I mean, to tell you the truth, the fraternity that he actually ended up rushing, they actually, my man came in with the best pitch. He's like, it's not about what you can get. It's not. It's about brotherhood. It's about such and such, about being part of something. It's like so. The fact that the other guys also, they shouldn't have brought dude who he's trying to steal's girl with him. That was a mistake.
Well,
that was a total mistake.
He's
also
trying to extend the olive branch, but then it immediately backfired.
Yeah, well, because also he's sitting there staring at him, with the look of Hades. So, but also at the same time, DJ, why are you trying to straight up just steal this man's chick on your first fucking day as a friend?
It's Megan Good, bro.
All bets are off, huh?
Yeah. I'm gonna do the same thing. When he got online and was asking what subject does she tutor and shit, I get it. Shoot your shot, bro.
Bro.
Shoot it down.
The moment he found out that she had a boyfriend and he was going that hard, bro, if I was other dude, I would have really put hands on him.
Oh yeah, I would have been like, all it takes is one Maxwell song for her to be convinced that he's the one and not me, because the Maxwell, this woman's work. I was like, every time you hear that song in a movie, somebody gonna be fucking at some point.
This is true.
Point. Cue fucking.
Mm-hmm. Baby gonna get made that day. I did say that these brothers are ripped. That was a good marketing that Will Packer and them did. How we entice the ladies to definitely come to this dancing movie. Oh, just show the brothers with the shirts off, just dancing on the top of a hill with no context for the audience.
Yeah, standing on a mountain after a run that they just did, and they're all wearing loosely tied boots, so all their ankles are broken. That is not the way. These niggas, their shit's snapping in half on a regular basis, and they stand on top of a hill after a fucking jog up a goddamn mountain. It's like, nah, bro. All of these gentlemen are in pain.
Right.
They're gonna have to send a helicopter to get a bunch of black bodies off the top of a mountain. No, that ain't the way.
That's a random observation.
Did you not see their boots all flopping and shit? I was like, nah, you can't do that. You can't run that shit.
It's true. Good point.
Oh,
Real good.
That's hilarious.
That was good point. Wow.
You had that the practicing montage. They were practicing in the pool and stuff like that, and doing the wobble 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 wobble. Because this is back when crumping was really big. When it was just like I love that Hayden Panettiere single-handedly destroyed crumping.
Yes.
It was so popular, and then that clip started coming out, and people were like, "No, we can't do it no more.
It's over. White people ruined it again. They did it again. They struck."
You have no anger. You have no true anger. What, they fucked up your macchiato? What? Oh man! Over and over. When will we learn? Yeah. Wow.
Oh, I did write down. Wouldn't the uncle know that the dean's wife is dead? He seems so surprised when they bring that up. Because if the dean has beef with the groundskeeper dude because him and the wife used to hook up, wouldn't they kind of tabs on each other's families? Like he would be like, "Oh, I know that your wife passed, and that's why you're trying to go extra hard at my nephew." No.
I think it was more about he didn't realize that Megan Good was the dean's daughter. That's what he should have known. It's not really the wife.
Yeah.
But once he's just like, wait, you're the dean's daughter? He's like, oh, sugar.
My job. DJ, don't fuck up my job, man.
Yeah.
He's like, out of all the women you had to fuck on this big ass campus, who the fuck my boss's daughter? And you fucked her good too, because she had a good man. Grant was going to be a lawyer.
Right. They would go to a fine dining establishment as college students. Listen, fine dining in college was Subway for me. He's like, they were all dressed up. I'd like a dessert menu, please. Like, really?
Give me one of them cookies.
Yeah, I was going to say it's cookies or chips. There are no desserts.
Wait, Justin said she left a lawyer for a dancing gardener. How many women to this day are like, damn?
I mean,
holy shit.
if it makes her happy, and she getting taken care of with that beautiful chocolate skin, then all for her. You know.
Yeah.
Listen, you know what it really comes down to? She's older than him as well, so she's leaving school earlier. She's gonna be taking care of him when he gets out.
Wow.
No, she's gonna be taking care of them kids because DJ ain't gonna be safe. He ain't gonna protect himself.
Oh no, yeah. He's shooting up the club.
He's shooting up the club the way his little brother got shot up at the beginning of this movie.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
I said it. I went there, everybody.
Fire.
Also, can we all agree DJ's final move at the end where he's like, trying to pay tribute to his brother with the elbow thing? Based on the momentum of that move, he crashes into the other fraternity, right?
Yes.
There's no way that he just stops like a break right in front of them.
Can I also just say, when he did that, he was on his elbow. He did the elbow thing, right?
Yeah.
What did he put gloves on for?
To channel his brother.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And that was what gave him the stopping power. Because I don't know if you noticed, he was on the elbow again, and then he just slid the hand out.
It would have been so great if they just inserted like a ghost apparition of Chris Brown. He's holding him back.
It was the sixth man. This movie quickly turns into the sixth man, and fucking Chris Brown is Kadeem Harrison holding his legs.
Oh, God. I did write down though, because DJ is supposed to be a freshman. I was like, he's got to do this shit for 3 more years. The pressure of like helping this fraternity win this shit every year. So he's got to come up with something outside the elbow now.
Right.
Yeah.
You got to do something. Man, what else is there? Earlobe slide? I don't know.
When the opposing fraternity were going, and they ended theirs, and they had the whole like howling at the moon thing, like whatever. And my man is standing there, like with the howl up and like in the silhouette. I was just like, that looks so fucking corny. If I was at the show, I would have been like, "Bam!"
It's followed up by that Pitbull song.
Yeah, right.
Right. I will give him the wolf trap though.
Yeah, that was dope.
That was fresh when he jumped in the wood trap and then jumped out before the bear trap before the jaws clapped.
Yeah, that was dope. I mean, there was certain parts of this I was just like, okay, this is cool. Another thing, I'm just like, ugh.
This is 2007, right? So we all had cell phones that were capable of recording audio, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if I'm DJ and I get called into the dean's office and it seems shady, I'm recording that conversation immediately.
The whole thing. I'm trying to get a free ride the rest of my life.
Yeah, he's threatening not only his college life, but his life after college or life outside of the building, the scope of this building. I'm like, oh no, motherfucker, you going down. And I'm gonna keep fucking your daughter.
Guess what? She's leaving school with me.
In front of you in your house. What?
So before we get to Patriot thoughts, Lanre, and then actually rate this movie, do want to ask you two, because Columbus Short, okay, ride with me on this. Because Columbus Short appears and You Got Served as a dancer in the crew, but we don't know his name and we don't know how he's related to the story. And then this movie comes out after Columbus Short, still a dancer on the West Coast, it looks like. Is this movie in the same universe as You Got Served?
It's a parallel dimension.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a parallel dimension.
It's like the multiverse. Got it.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
So that means
go ahead.
I was just gonna say that means I know there's a Stomp the Yard too, but if they wanted to do like a requel and bring Columbus Short back, you then bring in the crew from B2K, and he's gotta battle all these niggas.
Ooh. And they're all like gardeners and like yes,
the garbage men.
throw down my rake.
Look, main thing is they all work for the city.
I mean, but they all can't dance like they used to. I mean, they try to do some of those moves from You Got Served, they're gonna break the knees.
Listen, Omarion's little ass Ken. He come out there, doom, 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 touch. He'll do it all. That would be his main adversary, and then his brother's ghost can come back, and he can, so Chris Brown will be in the movie, or they just bring him back as a different character because now he looks completely different than he looked in that movie, so he could become somebody completely different. And
it turns out Steve Harvey, he's got like a legal case against him because he was not doing too well with them youngins at his club.
Yeah, at his warehouse. It's like, nah, y'all. The last time y'all were here, y'all did some bullshit. But today, I have a feeling y'all gonna redeem yourself.
Right.
No, there's a side plot where Steve Harvey's trying to fight accusations like he's R. Kelly. They got him on. They recorded an interview. He's like, I used to put money in a hat. Y'all coming for me for no reason. All right. But
oh God.
Stomp the Yard. We did get a few Patriot thoughts. And folks, remember, if you sign up for Patreon at patreon.com/media popcorn, you are guaranteed to have your comments or reviews on the upcoming film we're going to be reviewing right on that episode. So we had Sid Tobias who wrote, after Chris Breezy gets clapped, this movie honestly sucks. LOL. I've seen it many times due to it being one of those movies BET would constantly play like Baby Boy and Drumline. Short's character was always annoying and just a dick to everyone, but he kept getting forgiven for some reason. This movie doesn't even know what real stepping is. Not that crumping shit. Megan Good's lips saved the movie for me for a little bit, but that's all. LOL.
Wow.
Tiffany Payne wrote, I'm still mad we didn't see the final move in all its glory. We didn't need that cut to Megan Good's reaction. Yes, we did, Tiffany. Don't do that. Don't be a hater.
Reset the elbow. Reset the elbow.
They're popping that shit back in place.
Right.
And then we did get one more Patriot thought, but this gentleman's actually on the call with us. So Justin Rich, how you doing, bro?
What up? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. So share your thoughts on You Got Served, Stomp the
Yard.
See how you messed with the metaverse of Stomp the Yard and You Got Served? How we started this? Now I got in my head is Mr. Rad.
There's definitely a story there. I might work on a spinoff or something. But
you should write that, the prequel.
Mr.
Rad
I'll play a young Steve Harvey.
Oh God.
You got to Stomp the Served Yard. Yeah.
The prequel, you haven't been served yet.
In the yard.
You shall be served.
So Justin, what were your thoughts on Stomp the Yard?
So this one, I actually had like fond memories because I actually watched this for the first time in the movie theater when I was living out here in the DMV. So it was like a packed theater for this movie, which was interesting because it's like, wait, what the hell? Stomp the Yard, but we got a packed movie. So it got one of those like ruckus crowds where like the dance scenes, like everyone was into. Everyone loved Chris Brown and everyone was pissed after Chris Brown got clapped at the 5 minutes because it's like, what the fuck? This is like Scream and Drew Barrymore all over again. So now we got to watch Columbus Short like act for 2 hours, but it was solid. It was good. It did its job. It was entertaining. The dance scenes were really good. I thought this was better than You Got Served as far as the acting. So
I agree.
Very solid. Very solid around.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on, Justin. We appreciate you, man. All this support you've given us.
Never.
Justin's hilarious. He was going at it in the chat. He's funny.
So yeah, Justin, now let's get to our rating system. Break it down for Lanre so he understands how we review these things.
Okay, so Lanre, we rate movies bags of popcorn, small, medium, large, and the XL for the exceptional. Now, if a movie doesn't deserve any popcorn, we throw it into the dog shit pile where we pile piles and piles of dog shit on top of it. So we sat down and we watched the 2007 film Stomp. I wish it was 2027.
You okay?
I know, right? The 2007 film Stomp the Yard, starring Columbus Short, Megan Good, Neo, Darren Henderson, Brian White, Laz Lonzo. Lanre, what do you think, bro?
You know, I'm gonna give it a large bag. And I'm gonna give it because I stayed engaged and the story still holds up to now. Even though there are a couple little holes in this and that, part of it is knowing a little bit of the backstory, how hard it was to make any kind of film at that point in time. Now there are films every week, but to make an all-black film of that magnitude, you had that director Sylvan White, and he's amazing. Robert Adetuyi, he's Nigerian. Like, a lot of the people still are working to this day. So I give it a large bag because I thought it was well executed, probably with like 13 million of that budget probably went to marketing, 12 million or so, at least half probably went to marketing. But I thought they did a solid idea, solid script, solid performances, and a great eye for talent. So again, I think it stands up to this day. I was engaged, and I'm not just saying it because, Will and Robert, my frat brothers, but I did. And Megan Good was just amazing.
Megan Good.
Yep.
Amazing. Hope you watch.
Hope you're watching, Megan.
Well,
Megan, if you're watching.
Well, Megan, if you are watching, you're the reason why I'm giving this movie a medium. This movie actually showed me like, oh, Megan Good's a star. I remember like you guys heard, I was kind of like, who's this random like cute, girlfriend of like the main love interest or whatever, right? And then this is the movie I think where she actually had like a decent supporting role where she got to do some stuff. Because I remember it was like this and ATL back to back. Megan Good and Lauren London were like, you couldn't stop me from having them on every screensaver, all that stuff. Right. But also the movie is entertaining. I saw for this review, I saw the 86-minute version. So this went by swimmingly. This was great. But there were parts where I was just like, oh, these actors are all over the place, like the tone wise, but that could be a plethora of things. But nonetheless, it was still enjoyable. It's just there's some cuckoo bananas moments where DJ is miserable and he's not a likable protagonist. So it's weird that all these people immediately are drawn to him, because if I saw his body language, especially when he had that Raiden straw hat and he was shirtless, I would be like, I don't know what this brother's story is, but I don't want to know.
Who is
Justin, what's your rating?
So I'm going to say, first of all, that I was a fan of Megan Good when she was a chick on My Cousin Skeeter on Nickelodeon.
Oh, wow.
That's when I first saw her. And I was just like, she's something special. You know what I'm saying? Like, she is something special. But like this movie, like Megan Good does, she does make good for this film, because she's everything. She's everything in this film. As far as like her being a strong actress, for me, it's like sometimes I feel like she has like one note. Just if you're just going over a career, but she's making good, so it is what it is. But beyond that, I do agree with Brandon that DJ was not a likable character, and it was almost to the point where I didn't want to see him succeed because he was such a dick. And it just like, it seemed like he really didn't learn his lesson after his brother was killed at the beginning of the movie. Like, that should change any man, to kind of do a little bit more reflection. But at the same time, as crazy as this film is at points, it is something that I actually enjoyed watching. And then like sometimes when like I looked over at my wife and they gave her the look, it was like, this bullshit right here. But it's a fun watch, so I'm gonna give it a medium as well.
Okay. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, Bobs and Daddies. Lanre, thank you so much for joining us on this episode. It's absolute pleasure to be able to connect with you again. And congrats again on all the stuff you've been working on and things we have coming up in the future. Can you please tell the people how they can follow you and keep up with all your works?
Yeah, sure. Follow me on all platforms. Mainly I say all platforms, but it's really Instagram, because who checks Facebook anymore? But Instagram at Fit4LA, FIT, the number 4 LA. I'll keep you updated on Southside season 3, Hush, that we shot in DC. It's on All Black. And then Sherman Showcase on AMC Plus, IFC. And then finally The Invisible Ones. That'll be also on AMC in January. So please check us out. Follow me.
Listen
Love
to
it.
the man.
Follow me.
Wow.
Follow me.
The house music. Come on. Hey.
Follow Lanre and let them know that you heard him on Media and Popcorn. Please, folks. We got some amazing guests, and Lanre is one of them that we've been working on. We've been talking about this for a few months now, so I'm glad we finally got to make this happen.
Yeah.
Folks, y'all know you can follow me at American Collins and all social media platforms, AmericanCollins.com for my show dates. I got Drunk Black History coming up in February 2023. We have in-person and virtual tickets available at drunkblackhistory.com. And Justin, if you want to support the show financially, Medium Popcorn and Medium P Podcast and all social media platforms, how can they do that, sir, as well as follow you?
Guys, first of all, you can follow me at J Brown Did It on all the socials, but you can support this show at patreon.com/medium popcorn. We have $2, $5, $10, and $15 packages on there. If you love this show, if you want to support the show, you want to see it keep on going and grow and blossom into something beautiful, more than it already is, you need to get on Patreon and join us there. If you're feeling extra froggy, go to tpublic.com/medium popcorn. Grab yourself a little swag. A little swag. Leave us a voicemail 347-508-0978. Yeah, I know. I know the HIV. It got me.
It's that time of season, y'all, with the phlegm getting in your lungs, and you just can't do nothing about it.
It's all of it now. All in there.
Lanre, thank you again so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. And folks, we'll talk to you soon.
Peace.
Peace.